NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth. For one thing, 3I Atlas, as it's called, is interstellar, meaning it's from outside Earth's solar system. That is incredibly rare.
A NASA insider just leaked classified trajectory data, showing 3I Atlas executed a precise 0.3% deceleration. While hidden behind the Sunday, the Deep Space Network recorded the impossible numbers: 137,847 miles per hour, dropping to 137,434 miles per hour. 413 miles per hour vanished from an interstellar object with no natural explanation. September 2025. The whistleblower, working deep inside NASA's restricted tracking systems, released classified files that should have remained buried forever. 3I Atlas hadn't just passed through our solar system. It had executed a controlled maneuver, slowing down by exactly 0.3% during the brief window when Earth-based telescopes couldn't observe it. When NASA initially denied the leak's authenticity, congressional pressure forced confirmation. The trajectory data was real, immediately classified as sensitive information for reasons the agency refused to explain. Multiple tracking stations verified the measurements independently. What they found challenged every known law of physics governing interstellar objects. The physics are unforgiving. Solar wind pressure, gravitational interactions, even massive outgassing events cannot account for such precise deceleration in an object traveling at interstellar velocities. The energy required to slow a mountain-sized mass by 413 miles per hour equals multiple nuclear detonations applied in perfect sequence. Yet 3I Atlas accomplished this without any visible propulsion system or chemical signatures. The deceleration curve tells the real story. Natural forces create chaotic, unpredictable changes in velocity as comets tumble and outgas irregularly. 3I Atlas showed a smooth, engineered deceleration profile applied directly along its velocity vector. This is the signature of artificial control, technology that can manipulate objects moving at speeds that dwarf anything in our solar system. If confirmed, this represents the first documented evidence of non-terrestrial propulsion technology operating in our cosmic neighborhood. The question isn't just what 3I Atlas is, but who or what needed it to slow down at precisely that moment in its journey through our solar system. The cover-up began immediately. Internal emails from NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office reveal institutional panic within hours of the anomaly's detection. On September 15th, Administrator Bill Nelson personally classified all 3I Atlas tracking data as sensitive but unclassified, removing it from public access without explanation. Dr. Lindley Johnson's urgent message to European Space Agency counterparts carried a simple subject line: maintain operational security on Atlas until further notice. The trajectory data, he warned, presented national security implications requiring careful evaluation. What national security implications could a comet possibly present unless it wasn't a comet at all? The classified briefing document that reached congressional oversight committees provides the answer. Stamped with the highest restricted access levels, it explicitly states that 3I Atlas exhibits non-natural propulsion characteristics incompatible with current understanding of interstellar object behavior. In careful bureaucratic language, NASA was admitting they were tracking something under intelligent control. The whistleblower described watching colleagues struggle with data that challenged fundamental assumptions about physics and astronomy, while being ordered to classify findings that could represent the most important discovery in human history. The final straw came when military officials began attending routine astronomical briefings, treating the object as a potential security threat rather than a scientific opportunity. International coordination revealed the global scope of concern. The European Space Agency, Japan's space program, and China's National Space Administration simultaneously stopped releasing 3I Atlas tracking updates in mid-September. This level of coordination requires high-level diplomatic pressure and suggests world governments recognize they were dealing with something unprecedented. Congressional hearings in October exposed the depth of institutional secrecy. Representative Mike Turner confronted NASA leadership with direct questions about using public funding to hide potentially revolutionary scientific data from taxpayers. The agency's evasive responses cited ongoing analysis and preventing public panic over incomplete information, revealing an organization more concerned with managing disclosure than pursuing truth. If you're finding this information as shocking as we are, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. These leaks are still developing, and we'll be covering every new revelation as it breaks. The truth about what's happening in our solar system is too important to miss. The leaked thrust vector analysis reveals precise course correction impossible for any natural object. 3. I-Atlas executed a controlled deceleration along its velocity vector, the most efficient method for reducing speed while maintaining trajectory control. This represents engineering, not random cosmic forces. When comets outgas, they create chaotic thrust in multiple directions as vapor jets escape from different surface areas. The result is tumbling, wobbling motion that changes constantly. 3 I-Atlas showed none of this erratic behavior. Instead, thrust was applied smoothly and consistently in exactly the direction needed for the desired velocity change. The James Webb Space Telescope monitored 3 I-Atlas throughout its solar passage, detecting no chemical exhaust, temperature spikes, or debris clouds that would indicate conventional propulsion. The absence of visible propulsion mechanisms points to technology far beyond current human capabilities, possibly field propulsion that manipulates space-time itself, rather than expelling reaction mass. Dr. Harold White, formerly of NASA's Advanced Propulsion Physics Laboratory, analyzed the leaked data and concluded 3 I-Atlas exhibits characteristics consistent with non-reaction propulsion. His assessment suggests the object pushes against the fabric of space-time rather than using conventional thrust, a technique requiring no chemical signatures and no visible propulsion systems. The precision indicates sophisticated planning. The deceleration occurred while hidden behind the sun when no Earth-based observation was possible. This operational awareness suggests not just artificial control, but intelligent planning that accounted for human monitoring capabilities. If 3 I-Atlas can modify its trajectory with such precision, its entire path through the solar system may have been artificially guided. The close approaches to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter that astronomers calculated as statistically improbable might not be coincidences at all, but waypoints in a deliberately planned reconnaissance mission. Military satellites, repositioned to maintain continuous surveillance, revealed the Shadow Observation Campaign. The National Reconnaissance Office diverted 3 advanced imaging satellites from Earth surveillance missions to track 3 I-Atlas, even when it disappeared from civilian view behind the Sunday. The leaked technical reports describe electromagnetic signatures unlike anything in military databases. Beginning in late August, sensors registered structured radio emissions from 3 I-Atlas, patterns too organized for natural plasma discharge. The signals pulsed in mathematical sequences, suggesting active scanning or communication attempts. Operation Cosmic Watch, the classified international task force, established within days of 3 I-Atlas's discovery, coordinated real-time data sharing between traditional adversaries. Russian, Chinese, American, and European tracking stations fed information into a centralized analysis network, unprecedented cooperation that suggests shared recognition of the threat level. The Very Large Array was quietly reconfigured to focus exclusively on 3 I-Atlas, officially for routine maintenance, but actually attempting two-way communication using mathematical constants as universal language. The fact that communication attempts were made at all reveals that multiple governments suspected artificial origin from the beginning, despite public statements describing it as a natural comet. Military radar installations designed for missile defense shared classified tracking data with civilian astronomers through back-channel communications. Assets in deep space, possibly covert satellites in solar orbit, maintained visual contact even during solar occultation. The level of resources devoted to monitoring reveals official recognition that this was no ordinary interstellar visitor. The pattern extends beyond 3I Atlas to a systematic reconnaissance program. Oumuamua exhibited impossible acceleration as it departed the solar system. Borisov showed unusual chemical compositions. Now 3I Atlas demonstrates controlled deceleration. 3 visitors in 8 years, each more sophisticated, each exhibiting behavior that pushes the boundaries of natural explanation. Before 2017, no confirmed interstellar objects had been detected, despite statistical models predicting roughly 1 visitor per decade. The sudden clustering suggests something fundamental changed, possibly the beginning of a coordinated survey mission with each object assigned specific data collection parameters. The correlation with Pentagon unidentified aerial phenomena reports is equally disturbing. Military UAP encounters increased sharply, beginning in 2017, the same year Oumuamua was discovered. Leaked documents explicitly connect the increase in both interstellar visitors and unexplained aerial activity, suggesting possible relationships between objects arriving from deep space and smaller craft operating within our atmosphere. Government disclosure patterns reveal institutional knowledge, predating public announcements by years. The Pentagon briefed senior officials about unexplained aerial phenomena with advanced propulsion characteristics as early as 2016, before the first interstellar visitor was publicly confirmed. This timing suggests awareness of unusual activity preceded official discovery timelines. All 3 confirmed visitors arrived during a narrow window, when human detection capabilities had advanced enough to spot them. But before we develop technology to intercept or closely examine them, this timing suggests awareness of human technological progress and careful mission planning to maintain observational distance while gathering necessary data. The leaked NASA data marks the moment when humanity can no longer pretend our cosmic visitors are purely natural phenomena. The controlled deceleration, government cover-up, and coordinated international response point to systematic observation by intelligence, possessing technology far beyond our capabilities. This changes our understanding of our place in the cosmos. Advanced civilizations haven't announced themselves dramatically or remained completely hidden. Instead, they conduct methodical reconnaissance through automated probes designed to study us while maintaining plausible deniability. We're being examined like laboratory specimens, with observers staying just beyond our ability to definitively prove their artificial nature. If 3I Atlas represents reconnaissance technology, then somewhere in the galaxy, advanced intelligence compiles detailed data about our planet, civilization, and technological development. They know our military capabilities, energy production, population centers, and scientific advancement rate. Meanwhile, our governments chose secrecy over transparency, leaving the public unprepared for reality that may soon become undeniable. 3 confirmed interstellar visitors in 8 years, each more sophisticated than the last, suggests we're approaching some threshold. This isn't random cosmic traffic, but a systematic program building towards something more significant. The question isn't whether contact will happen, but whether we'll be ready when it does. The 3I Atlas cover-up reveals institutional panic and classification of scientific data that should belong to humanity. Even our most sophisticated defense and intelligence agencies lack established procedures for dealing with confirmed non-terrestrial intelligence. The scientific community faces its own credibility crisis after decades of dismissing artificial explanations as fringe speculation. The whistleblower who leaked these documents took enormous personal risk to ensure public access to information that could reshape our understanding of reality. Their courage highlights our responsibility to demand transparency from institutions that prefer managing disclosure on their own timeline and terms. The window for gradual, controlled disclosure may be closing. If 3I Atlas represents part of an accelerating observation program, future visitors may be less subtle, more obvious, harder to explain away as natural phenomena. When that moment arrives, will humanity be prepared for confirmation that we share the galaxy with intelligence far more advanced than our own? The universe is watching, and it's time we started watching back. Make sure you're subscribed to stay updated on these developing revelations, because the truth about what's really happening in our solar system is still unfolding.